If we're being very honest, a lot of us are stumbling through life. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we want from life. We're just taking each day as it comes, hoping and believing that one day it would all make sense, or at least that we'd survive. And this is what has been prescribed for our generation because purpose has become a very elusive concept. What we call purpose of this generation is ambition, and they're just not the same. You don't think about purpose and all that comes to your mind is what you can get. You don't think about purpose and all that comes to your mind is a fat bank account. This is why a lot of us are burned out. We're so consumed with chasing dreams that aren't even ours. It's a strange thought, but think about it. We carry dreams that we think are dreams, but which have been ingrained into our minds by the system. If you grew up without the influence of anyone or anything, what would you do with your life? The system tells us that at a certain age, we must have a certain amount of money. The system tells us that true happiness can only come from having a lot of money. Sometimes it prescribes lots of sex, drugs, and alcohol too. The system says to us that the dream life is on a yacht with millions of dollars in our accounts and mansions in every country of the world. And for many of us, we just never think that we can be fulfilled if we don't attain that status. So what we call purpose is chasing our inordinate desires. What we call purpose is an unhealthy sense of competition where anyone can lose their humanity in the race to the top. But that's not purpose. Purpose is not a race. Purpose is not a competition. In fact, if there's one thing purpose would do for you, it will eliminate envy. Purpose shows your uniqueness. It encourages you to embrace your strength. Purpose shows you that there's a place for you and that you're vital to the world we live in. So why compete? Everyone is an important piece of this puzzle. Every gift is an integral part of this world we must build together. But because there's no purpose, we spend so much time wishing to have the next person's gift. We spend so much time competing with each other. We spend so much time despising what we have and trying so hard to be like other people. We spend so much time listening to the system, allowing it to dictate to us what we should want from life. Some of us have such obvious gifts tied to our purpose, but because it's not acceptable to the system, we let them die. Why should you spend your time studying a course in a university that you know has nothing to do with your purpose? Because having a bachelor's or an MSc is classy? Because the school is bougie? What if you should just be cooking? You love it. You know you could be great at it. You know that it's your gift. You know it's the one that brings fulfillment into your life. Why not channel your energy and resources into becoming the best chef or baker that you can be? Why do you want to spend time doing completely unrelated things? Listen to me. You don't need to be a jack of all trades if you understand purpose. You don't need to go around in circles if you recognize the gift that you have been given. In the world today, we have two groups of people. There is one group who knows nothing about their purpose and what they should be doing with their own lives. And then there's the other group who spends their lifetimes running away from their purpose. Some out of duty and others out of ignorance. But today, I want to speak to those two sets of people. I want to speak to those of you who think that you don't have any gifts, and as much as you don't have a purpose. The first thing I will say to you is that the reason you don't think you have any purpose is because you don't know that purpose itself is a gift. When people think of gifts, what comes to mind is musical gifts, baking, art, sports. But that's not necessarily purpose. What if your purpose is to kill world hunger or to build systems that will fight for equality and justice around the world? What kind of gifts do you need to do when what you've been given in itself is a gift? It's a mission. So, when we say purpose, we aren't asking what gifts and talents are. What we're asking is, what's your mission? What are you here to do? What is the other thing you would accomplish in the world that will leave you fulfilled? What does your heart pang for the most? What area troubles you the most? Is it the low quality of education? Is it the violence and brutality? Or is it even the poor food choices you see around you? What does your heart beat for? Purpose will not always demand that you leave your job to go start something new around your gifts or talents. No, not at all. Sometimes they go hand in hand. Right at the workplace, you can discover what you want to do with the rest of your life, and it may not involve leaving your 9 to 5. There's been so much confusion and misconceptions around purpose. You may not be a singer or a dancer, a comedian or a footballer, but you have a purpose, because the singer's gift of music isn't her purpose. Her purpose could be to use music as a tool of healing and reformation. Maybe you've spent too much time wishing you had the same gifts that other people have, or even trying to identify your gift. Maybe it's time to begin to look for your assignment, because listen, your purpose isn't your gifts and talents, it's your assignment. And perhaps you're in the second category of people, and your case is different. You know what your purpose is, but you're torn between duty and passion. Maybe you know what your heart beats for. Maybe even you know what you want to do with the rest of your life. But duty calls and obligation requires that you do whatever you need to do to pay the bills. Duty requires that you bury whatever passion or purpose you have to ensure that you fulfill your responsibilities. And to be honest, I understand where that point of view comes from. But the truth is, purpose takes time. I know you want to start making money and paying bills and showing off as soon as you can. But if it's purpose, you're going to have to work it. And that may be including staying in a job that feeds you and your family for the time being while you begin to build something around your purpose. Because if your first approach to purpose is money, something vital is gone. Can people make money out of their passions? Yes, absolutely. People do make money from their passions every day, but the moment it becomes only about ambition, something has shifted. Because listen to me, a lot of the time, purpose is not about you. Your purpose is a gift you've been given to share with the world. Your purpose is your contribution to the world. Your purpose is a gift you can't afford to keep to yourself. It bubbles right out of you and overflows to the world around you. So I know that you need to fend for yourself, but you need to find purpose. Don't get stuck in the cycle of obligation. You need to do what is right for you and the people you love. But you must never forget purpose is the crux of your existence. It's the reason you were created. The world would have been a better place if we were taught to build careers around our natural talents and abilities, and if we were allowed to pursue our passion to the fullest. If parents recognized purpose in their children and nurtured it from an early age, but this is where we are. And no one will take a stand for us if we don't do it ourselves. What is your purpose? Don't spend the rest of your life nurturing other people's dreams and living other people's lives. Don't spend the rest of your life wishing you were someone else. You have something to bring to the table. You are important. You have a purpose. But guess what? It's your mission to find it. And if you would look inwards, you would find that it had been right there all along. calling out to you.